of a sad edition of the All-22 this week because it's the last one of the season. Some good things, some bad things to go through. Chew. Packers played a hell of a football game, ultimately came up short. And there are a couple of plays here I think that we're going to go through that show the good and the bad of what happened on Saturday night. So here we go. We're going to start off right away with a Romeo Doubs. So this is a 3rd and 7 play, big guy, where I'm just really I don't know if there's really anything to kind of break down here other than me just awing at this throw because it's one of the best ones, and you can really see it when we get the end zone camera. It's one of the best throws I think we see from Jordan Love all season.
Okay, it's just a balanced set. Looked like they're playing man underneath with a robber just eyeballing Love. I don't know why they're doing that. But let's just see it one more time. Doubs is at the bottom. Gabe, it's kind of a version of the touchdown you showed that I scored last week, where they're kind of using a pick downfield. But this time, who's the other receiver? Wicks?
Yeah, so we'll go back to that before we show the end zone camera. The end zone camera, I just want you to see the throw. The throw's ridiculous. But yeah, you got to see it up top here.
But my only thing here is the spacing. That's
I mean,
Reed.
you see
Reed seems to be a little too deep. You see how the spacing, I mean, they're not right on top of each other, but I'm sure when they drew this up, they didn't want Reed going that deep to give more separation. That's what makes the throw even that more impressive. Because I thought the two receivers were a little too tight together.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jordan Love's was playing as good as anyone in this league, and he's responsible. Great route by Doubs. My only thing is the spacing is a little off.
Yeah, just from this angle, look at this throw. That's
and if you look, he's throwing it it's up his opposite foot. Because he can't step into it. Just a great throw, and hopefully we see more of that next year. But nitpicking, the spacing I didn't like. I just would like a little more separation to make this throw a little easier.
Yeah, I just wanted to, there wasn't really much for you to break down there. I just wanted to, oogle over that great throw. But now This one, I think you've got some things to break down. So this was in the 3rd quarter. And the Packers defense kind of, they go down, they score, they take a lead, and then within the matter of 4 plays, the San Francisco 49ers are able to score. So the Packers get 1st and 2nd down. George Kittle just had a big play, big catch and run leading into this touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. So just let me know what you see defensively here, what the Packers could have potentially done better.
Okay, so defensively, they're in nickel. Go back. No one really makes a play out of their front 7 to stand out. Let me just look at this one more time. Looked like they were going to play cover 2. This is all Darnell Savage. I mean, that's what you're paid to do. Safety, once they notice run, they know that you're going to be unblocked, and he's got to make that play. See, normally if Savage walks up right there, right, they have to check because there's too many men in the box. So they decide to leave him deep. I mean, he's got to make that play. I thought this was one of the bigger plays in the game. They had it fronted up. It was a man-on-man. It's just kind of a one-on-one situation where, and that's some of the question marks I have. And a coaching point here, Gabe, is you never stop your feet. Right? You hear about it in basketball. It's the same in football. If you look when he comes up, he stops his feet, right? Watch. Stop. They're not completely stopped, but it's not in an athletic position. And all you want to do, worst case scenario, grab him by an ankle and wait for help to arrive. He doesn't even do that, and that's why McCaffrey scores, and this is a big reason why they lost the game. That's why if you're thinking of bringing him back, that's a huge question mark for me. And all the equity they have coming up into this season, I think that's a position where you really want to upgrade.
Yeah. So now this next, we're going to go for the first time this year. we're going to do kind of a series of plays here because this is coming off of, the Niners score there. Packers get the big kick return. They jump on the loose football, and then they find themselves in this situation. So they end up going for 2 after getting this touchdown. And to my untrained eye, it looked like they kind of tried to make some things look similar and ended up running 2 different plays. But just kind of, we can break down the first play and then the 2-point conversion. You can tell me if this play set that up or if I'm just completely, way off. So this is the first play. This ends up being the touchdown to Tucker Kraft.
Okay, this is just trips right. There's no play action pass to it. Let me just see if look at that one more time, see if there's a pick up there. Let me get the wide. Okay.
So you send the inside guy out on motion.
Yeah, they're in man-to-man, Gabe, and they're just bumping it. My question, and I'm surprised they didn't throw a flag here on Wicks.
He didn't make that much contact. He didn't make that much contact. He just got in the way.
He has to sell it better.
He is. He's looking back at.
He's running around.
He's got to throw up his hands, maybe. Yes, it's very obvious on the replay. Let's go back and watch that again. He has one job on this play, and he just got in the way. He's not really selling a route.
They could have thrown that flag. We used to run the same thing called 22 sway. All right. When I'm lined up on the right side, a little wide, there's a receiver outside of me. Our job, and we called it a pick play or a screen, and our job was just to make the middle linebacker, who we knew was one-on-one with the back, to go underneath us. We couldn't let him go over the top because we knew if he went underneath us, that guy had no chance.
I will say this. Yeah, I will say this about this play. So you do have a yard. You've got 1 yard to work with where you can run legal picks, and I think he might be within that yard.
He just, it's the same concept we're thinking, make him go underneath because then he can't make the play. But you just have to sell it as a receiver a little better because I think they could have thrown the flag here.
Yeah, he's close to within. Yeah, he's close to within that yard, I think, too. But he's not doing anything. So now we get to the 2-point conversion play here.
Okay.
And it. Again, they're in the same formation. They run the same motion, but the play is completely different. So kind of bunched receivers, again, different personnel, but then you have the inside guy go to the outside.
Same motion. All they're doing is bumping it, right? They're bumping it down.
Mm-hmm.
And he just picks.
Fred Warner's got no chance of getting there. So Fred Warner is lined up right here. And he's got responsibility on Aaron Jones, and he's just got no chance because there's too much traffic because they're all running slants or underneath routes or crossers.
They know that, Gabe. And we talk about 72X shallow cross all the time, and how that works. It's a play designed mostly for man, but sometimes zone. And when I'm coming over, it's the same concept. When I'm coming over the ball, and I know it's man, I'm to eyeball that receiver who's running a shallow cross from the opposite side of me. Now, if I know it's man and I have the ability to slow down a little bit to let that receiver rub his guy off of me, I do it. But if he's in jam and it takes too long, then I'm just to run my route. This is something they're going to learn in years to come. It'll be more natural to me. Because you could see that Dobbs, if you watch Dobbs, I believe is the one set in the pick, he adjusts his route. Watch how he adjusts his route because he's supposed to be coming across the field, but he sees an opportunity for a pick. Watch him go vertical now, right after that.
Yep.
See how he goes vertical to pick that guy? That's fine, but you just have to be careful when you're doing it because once again, they could call it.
So it looks like they're in that same defense, right? So do you think it's possible that the Packers decided to go for 2 because they knew that they were going to get someone wide open? Hey, we know that this is how they defend us in this formation with this trips. And if we do this, that's going to leave the flat wide open. So this could have been, hey, this play just worked. Let's kind of run up something similar, but now we're going to scheme something else open.
It is, but Gabe, technically, you usually have, and it might be more today because there's more 2-point conversions run. Back in the day, you would have 2 plays for the 2-point conversion. You would have it, you would practice it, that this is it. Now, obviously, they wouldn't have run that same play to Kraft if they were on the 6-yard line, right? Because there's too much room. It wouldn't have worked out. It just happenstance with the flow of the game that the two plays were in similar yardage. So that's when it worked. But this play was always in because this is one of your 3 2-point conversions that you practice during the week. It just so happened that the yardage was pretty much the exact same. It was fresh in the 49ers' head that, hey, something's up. They may try to run the same thing again. And it was just great individual effort. My only thing, and they will learn this as they go, you got to be more of a salesman when you're picking a guy.
Yeah. And again,
right?
I'm guessing that comes with experience. Yeah. It comes with experience. Yeah. You know, you're a young guy. You don't know how to sell that quite yet.
I mean, you think Tom Cruise's first movie ever was great?
Probably not. I know we'd have to ask Jeff.
No, it took him time. And it'll take these guys time, but bottom line is it worked out and they scored on both plays.
All right, so this was a play that was disappointing to me because it's 3rd and short. The Packers, again, just really didn't move the ball outside of a big Aaron Jones run in the 4th quarter. Jordan Love had started to slip a little bit in terms of his play. He was so good in the first handful of drives, and then the last few, I mean, we went over it on the show, 6 of 12, 2 picks, 30 yards in his last 12 attempts. And this was a play that I feel like, again, maybe it's a broken play. I think he's got an open receiver too, but they had an opportunity to move the chains here, and they just don't. So tell me what you see here. It's 3rd and 2, need to get to the 35.
So they're baiting them. They go cover 2. I'm just looking at the defense. It's straight cover 2. Rewind it, Gabe.
Yep.
So this is a run here?
This is a pass play.
Okay, hold on. Let me just see what's going on. He has plenty of time. He gets a little flushed. Yeah, it's, you know what? And this happened before the last play of the game. And if I'm Rossley, I'm like, you can't, it's very, very dangerous to throw across your body, even though he is open. I mean, the rule of thumb is, Gabe, and what Aaron Jones should have done is against man you run, against zone you sit. So he should have sat right there. And I think that's what Jordan Love was maybe expecting. So it's a little bit on Jordan and a little bit on Aaron Jones, okay? Don't throw across your body. Good things never happen. And then if you watch Aaron Jones, sit down right there. And I think that's what Love was expecting because Aaron Jones is clearly reading that as man because he continues to run where he should be sitting down.
As a running back, and obviously you can see, again, we'll go back to the beginning of this play where Aaron Jones is lined up wide and the Packers, no matter who the coach has been, have lined him up in that position before. I mean, obviously not that often, but how much do running backs know those rules that you as a tight end or as wide receivers would know, hey, this is zone, I should sit down? Because not every team asks their running back to line up outside the numbers and run this little crossing route.
Well, he should know because everyone has, I'll just tag it as an option. So it's typically done with a 4-receiver set or a zebra set, 3 receivers and a tight end. I had one back in the day. So it would just be all go Y option, all go halfback option. And the rule is if things split, because typically you want to run out of it. That's where you become dangerous. But if things split, you turn, sit around, catch the ball, get vertical. Now, most times on a 3rd and 8, when you would call it, a lot of teams play man. So then he has the option to go either way. And the quarterback's got to read that. Now, in that instance, that would be kind of a linebacker split. So he's got to turn around. So yes, they should know that they run enough routes in order to know that you run versus man, sit versus zone.
All right, that does it. Chew, always appreciate you, bud. I think we had a fun season. We've got some ideas to improve on this next year. I want to thank everybody who watched this, participated in it as all 22 comes to a close, but we've got some big plans for it next year. So tune back in after week 1 in the fall, and I think we're going to have some fun things for you as part of all 22.
Sounds good, bud. I had a lot of fun.